The gameplay trailer for Assassin's Creed Mirage is finally out after our surprise reveal at the PlayStation Showcase, and in this video we're going to break down all the information we could gather from it. In the video we're going to discuss and show all the stealth, parkour, combat and gameplay elements in general, and the narrative elements including some connections to the CGI trailer and Basim's story, and the presence of an already known character, all the way to the final announcement of the release date of the game. So no time to waste, there's a lot to discuss, let's dive right in. So we start off right into action with an air assassination, a classic assassin move that right from the start shows not only how the game will bring back players into a proper assassin fantasy, but also that finally we are seeing the actual game and its gameplay into action. We are in the inner courtyard of a building. We can already see a flower petals bale where Basim could have performed a leap of faith, but don't fret, we're going to see it later. Basim is seen here and will also appear throughout the trailer donning what seems to be his Master Assassin outfit, that is a white robes with a red sash and the big Hidden Ones insignia on its waist. Also, if we look at his outfit from this other side, we can see his main three weapons, that is the Hidden Blade, the Dagger and the Sword, or shall I say Scimitar. Another immediate element that we can see is the pretty recognizable outfit of the guards, which will appear throughout the trailer. These seem to be the standard guards, the same type of enemy that appeared in some of the screenshots back in September 2022 already. We then cut to a fast forward scene, as if from that inner courtyard we move to have a look at our main setting and playground, that is Baghdad. If we slow that video down, we can see some of the details of the architecture and the NPCs, which don't really seem to amount to the crowds that were mentioned during the interviews last year, but still do seem to be an improvement in density compared to Valhalla. We can see NPCs going on with their lives, dancers, an NPC sitting on nothing, and a town crier. There's a zoom on him, so I guess there might be some mechanic tied to this kind of NPCs to lower Basim's notoriety, as it was the case with the original Assassin's Creed games. Amidst the crowd, we see Basim, and we can have a better look at the backside of his outfit and the dagger and pouch that he's wearing. It's got a fewer pompons than in the CGI trailer, that's very saddening. The shot, by the way, is also very reminiscent of a similar one from the Assassin's Creed 1 trailer, with Altair moving amidst the crowd, hiding in plain sight. We then have a look at the front of Basim's outfit. We see the big hood with an ornament designed over it being barely visible, and that seems different from the one shown in the CGI trailer. More shoulder shots of our assassin getting closer to his new target, then finally a first look in-game at the Hidden Blade and how it perfectly fits the ring finger after it has been removed in accordance with the rituals of the Brotherhood. From here we can also see a better look at the bracer that Basim will wear, at least with this outfit, before we finally see in-game the assassination to the neck that we saw in the CGI trailer. This is where we first hear Roshan's voice in this trailer. This time we hear her as she welcomes Basim into the Brotherhood. I'd imagine this line is taken from right after his induction into the Hidden Ones, and obviously not the scene that we see in the trailer right now, where instead we see Basim in a standing position waiting for his eagle Enkidu to rest on his arm. From here we can also appreciate a proper and full view of his Master Assassin outfit, while we also see another idyllic area of the city with seemingly a pond and some flamingos, which will apparently be in the game. We then cut to a vista of the city of Baghdad as Basim approaches it riding a camel, so now we can confirm that Basim will ride both camels and horses as Bayek did in Assassin's Creed Origins, followed by more shots of the round city and the buildings outside of it. As Basim rides to what seems to be one of the main gates of the city, Roshan continues her speech by saying, "You have died and been reborn," another hint about this being like a ceremonial speech after Basim's induction, where the new Hidden One's acolyte is supposed to have left his old life behind and been reborn within the Brotherhood with a new path for their life. This also looks like a follow-up to Roshan's words from Basim's induction from the CGI trailer, where she asked him, "Are you ready to leave your life behind?" So now Basim accepted to leave everything behind and be reborn, but did he really? Guess we'll see in the game, but back to the trailer, we finally see some running and parkour. The vault animation is back in the game as the corner swing and the new pole vault animation that allows Basim to cross a wide road while keeping to the rooftops, and while it's nice to see these classic and new parkour ingredients, from the few bits of the trailer we can already see that the parkour movement and animations do seem pretty similar to those from Valhalla, albeit a bit more fluid and faster. Through these bits, though, we can also see the density of buildings within Baghdad, which does seem to allow traversing and staying on the roofs for a much longer period of time compared to the more recent games of the franchise, even allowing to cross wide streets and small rivers without touching the ground. More running amidst various NPCs as the guards sound the horn to gather reinforcements to follow Basim. This will be part of the notoriety system, although it's not really a new element, as guards calling for reinforcements have been part of Assassin's Creed for years now. But now it's time to have a brief look at one of the stealth-related tools in the game. As Basim is chased, he throws a smoke bomb, and as we saw in the CGI trailer, smoke bombs are red in Mirage. Again, not really inconspicuous, but very impactful, and as in most AC games, they will allow Basim to run away or assassinate the nearby guards and start the stealth loop again. Moving on, we see Basim on top of what seems to be a palace or a mosque with a green dome, and he's once again chased by guards who are shooting arrows at him. And while facing the lush city and the desert in the distance, he eludes the guards by performing a textbook leap of faith with the beautiful palace in the background, in a scene that slightly reminds that of the leap of faith from the Assassin's Creed movie. Here the trailer cuts to a different scene. We are at dusk, and Basim is overlooking a building along with another hidden one telling him that they need to find a way to get him inside without being seen. This is the perfect setup for a black box mission, one of the now classic trademark missions in Assassin's Creed making a comeback in Mirage, where players will be able to approach an assassination mission within a defined area the way they like. But before we get into that, by turning on the subtitles in the version of the gameplay trailer shared by PlayStation, we can see that the hidden one talking to Basim is Fulad, one of the mentors mentioned in Assassin's Creed Valhalla in a letter that Hytham received at the end of the game after Basim's final betrayal. In that letter, it was stated that in 2 years from then, Mentor Fulad of the Justanid region would have hosted a Hidden Ones gathering in Alamut, but that was 878 AD, now we are around 25 years prior to that, which also means that Fulad won't die in Mirage. So Basim has to get inside what looks to be a heavily guarded palace or prison, and in a classic black box mission fashion, Fulad suggests the opportunities that Basim and the player can take advantage of. Basim might bribe the guards to grant himself safe passage inside, for example, or he could use another classic tool, a throwing knife, to kill the guards and open a passage in a more canonical but still stealthy way. What follows is a bunch of scenes showcasing the stealth and assassination combination, with Basim performing a ledge assassination, sneaking inside the building unseen, pickpocketing a guard, and eventually ending up in a treasure room, which within the trailer seems to have been his objective from the get-go. The next scene shows possibly the only bit of social stealth from this specific trailer, if we don't count Basim walking within the crowds at the beginning, where we see Basim sitting down as time passes in the classic assassin pose, which I hope would also mean we can go back to assassinate guards and sit them where our main character was hiding, something that was missing from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. More parkour, or shall I say rope walking, which shows more of the colorful city, and again that you can seemingly truly stay above ground as much as you'd like, as we hear Roshan continuing her speech telling Basim to embrace his fear and to quiet it, which again doesn't seem that Basim was able to do a perfect job with, and to then find the stillness and let go, as the trailer does show the assassin focus ability, which will allow Basim to assassinate several targets in quick succession, and here we can see him using eagle vision to visualize the potential assassinations to do in quick succession before he performs it. I wonder though if this can actually be performed in mid-air with a sort of bullet time ensuing, as players will also need the time to select the targets that they want to assassinate using this ability. And now it's time for combat. As we can see, Basim can fight with both the dagger and the sword, or at least he can use them in combos. He can roll over the enemy's shoulders like in Assassin's Creed Revelations. He can slide after running, which I'd imagine would be very useful in stealth sessions rather than combat ones. And of course, we can see an attempt at a running assassination before turning to see another classic of Assassin's Creed, the rope lift that allows the main character to reach the roofs in an instant. This is the only vertical movement we see in the trailer, so it'll be interesting to see how Basim climbs up and down in order to properly judge how parkour has changed from Valhalla, as I believe we still don't have enough elements to have a better idea. More fighting with the option to kick enemies off the roofs, and what seems to be an assassination of a brute guard, unless that's some actual hidden blade combat. Whatever the case, all the guards are dead, as we can see another beautiful palace in Baghdad before we cut to what seems to be another air assassination, but actually turns out to be a completely different type of assassination where Basim actually puts a rope around the neck of his target and hangs him, though I think this might also be more of a special assassination at the end of a black box mission rather than a normal assassination, though I'd be pretty happy to be proven otherwise. And finally, our trailer ends with Basim crouching atop a perch, synchronizing his viewpoint overlooking the city of Baghdad as Roshan tells him, "We will be watching," which is pretty interesting to hear, meaning that the Hidden Ones will keep tabs on Basim after his initiation, so in case he didn't really leave his old life behind, or if he's taken aback by his own internal struggle, they might notice and then act upon it. And after this, the trailer ends up on the final screen showcasing the release date of the game on October the 12th, 2023, which means 4 months from now approximately, and hopefully these aren't going to be 4 dead months as the last 9 ones, as this trailer sure kicked off the second part of the marketing campaign, including 2 new screenshots, one of which features what seems to be a Hidden Ones bureau with a first look at the younger and hoodless Roshan, Fulad and Master Assassin Basim, the asymmetrical assassin insignia making a comeback, thanks Claudio, and seemingly a tiny little cat appearing in the background, thanks Scott, while the other screenshot shows Roshan training with Basim in his acolyte outfit and way more pom-poms. We also got a dedicated trailer for the contents of the deluxe edition of the game, which, along with the bare-chested Prince of Persia-like Basim, a digital art book, a selected soundtrack and other accessories, includes a mention to outfit dyeing, which will finally be part of an Assassin's Creed game after so many years. But of course, that's just the tip of the iceberg, with the Ubisoft Forward event coming up on June the 12th, where we'll likely know more about Mirage and possibly its story, and in order to get prepared for that, we have just released the first of 2 videos dedicated to the full story of Basim across games and transmedia, which you can check on screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.